I gotta have more cowbell. I gotta have more cowbell. I gotta have more cowbell. Explore the space. Explore the space. Explore the space.
Come on guys, let's get creative.
I gotta have more cowbell.
Let's get creative.
I gotta have more cowbell.
Hello, this is n00bs, and today is part 2 of my Let's Be Creative
Let's get creative.
series, where we are going to kick it up a notch by giving a short beginner's guide to Photoshop. Yay! I decided that the best way to learn is learn by doing. So I'll just use this chance to record and do something I have to do anyway on my Photoshop app. Now I am using Photoshop Creative Cloud, and you may say, "Hey Andy, I don't have Creative Cloud Photoshop. I only have Creative Suite version 1 through 5, 6. I don't remember how many Creative Suite versions there were. Or that perhaps you don't even have a Creative Suite edition. Perhaps you have some older one, the one with the gray eye. I don't know, the time before all those other apps too, before Illustrator. Yes. Well, the thing is that I have done photoshopping since that time, and I can tell you that although things have changed, they haven't changed that much. So all the things that I am going to show you now most likely will be in some way adaptable to older versions of Creative Cloud, Creative Suite, I mean, Photoshop versions, or even before Photoshop became a part of Creative Suite. Okay, so what we're gonna do first is that I have this Photoshop version on my PC, because I once had a Mac, but my Mac said goodbye to me, and so he died. I hope to resurrect him one day, but right now he's dead, and so we have to use my PC version of this. Moving on. Now, since this is the PC, there are some differences to the Mac, and the first one we're going to look at now. We're going to open up a file now. If you're a beginner, you will probably go on File, Open, Smart Object, Open and Recent. All these things are valid ways of doing it. But if you're on a PC, and so this is one of the few things you can do on your PC that cannot be done on a Mac, is double click in this area, the desktop area of Photoshop. Now let's see what happens. I double click now. That automatically opened this. Now it's very important to have, when you're being creative, is to have things organized so you can find things quickly. So let's just see if I can find the things that I have quickly. Do a little test. I have it in my folder Creative Stuff from my Mac, which I managed to export before my Mac said goodbye. So now in this folder I have lots of different things. It's a bit chaotic because, you know, I exported this in a hurry. But I think it is in images. Here you see I have lots of different folders with different themes in this mobile folder. But we are going into drawings and illustrations, and in drawings and illustrations I have the drawing of me board 01 and 02. Now I'm going to import both of them. by holding shift and marking them. This is very, you should know this if you have ever touched a computer. But holding shift in will mark everything from 2 points, meaning if I mark here and hold shift there, every single one will be marked. You can also, I believe, hold control in and they'll do the same, but then it's just all of the files you choose. Yes, you're welcome. If you didn't know that, you're welcome. But we are gonna do it this, and let's do control this time. And then open. Yay! Let's see now. Okay, now both of them are open. Now, I'm not sure which one to use, so we're gonna zoom in. And we zoom in by holding Alt or Command on Mac and scrolling. You see I scroll now? Yes, I scroll. Back and forth, back and forth. This is how you scroll. This is how you roll. But of course you can also press this one. That's for very beginners. Look, you're zooming in, and then you can also down here write the percentage you want to watch. Okay, this is 100%. And the lastly, you can right click on your mouse. Right click, yes, that's right. Right click, and then you can choose fit on screen, and then zoom in, zoom out, all these things here. As long as you have this one, this magnifying glass icon pressed. Okay. Hey Andy, this picture looks pretty is placed the wrong way. How are you gonna ever place it the right way? Well, there are lots of ways of doing that, but right now let's do it in Photoshop. And where you go is image, image rotation under this is there, and then you can choose 180, 90 clockwise, and 90 degrees. That is degrees if you failed math. That little symbol there means degrees. That's in a circle there's 360 degrees, and 90 degrees is it's like a quarter on the clock. Okay. Anyway, let's do clockwise. No, we're gonna do counterclockwise because you have to think like a clock. And the clock would now we're going backwards on the clock. Yes, look at that. Oh, Wendy, that seemed easy. Well, it is easy, especially when you're paying attention. Okay, so now we have the image, and the next thing we're gonna do is actually just make a decision on which one to choose. Well, they both look the same if you ask me. Perhaps this one is, no, they both look the same. Close it. Okay. Next thing we're gonna do is start working on it. No, let's just do one more thing. Now, if you paid attention in my previous video where I taught you how to scan, now we're going to learn how to do the same things in Photoshop, because you can actually do the same things, the presets or the image manipulations we did before we scanned, we can also do after we've scanned in Photoshop. Okay, the same place, image. This place is sort of like where you adjust different kinds of things. Now, you're gonna go on adjustment, and then we have brightness contrast. And this brightness contrast does the same thing as we did in the previous one. You see? Yes. But we're not going to need to do that now because we already did it. But there you go. Okay. And we can also do other things like levels. Hey, this looks very familiar. This looks like the histogram in the previous video, Andy. Yes, that is correct. Exactly. Except this one for some reason. I don't remember this one. This little peak here. Okay. Perhaps actually I should do some. I pressed cancel because I played with it a bit, but let's see. I think actually I'm going to do this. I think this will improve the image a bit. What do you think? I forgot to tell you in the previous one that lots of creativity is done by being a stickler. You are being creative when you are being a stickler by correcting your mistakes constantly. Like writing, Stephen King said it, and very many other authors said that writing is rewriting. And you may say that photoshopping is Photoshop, re-photoshopping, reshopping, retouching, retouching. You get what I'm saying? You have to try it again and again until it gets right. Or you can do as me and just not care. It's that it's good enough. But if you want to create the masterpiece, you have to be a stickler. But if you want to make stupid Let's Play videos that nobody's gonna watch, like me, then you don't have to care at all. So it's all about what can be your healthy expectations of the outcome. I prefer to be a little bit more relaxed, yes. But okay, now we've done some image adjustment, but there's lots more here. So let me pretend I'm you once more. Hey Andy, what's all of these other things? Well, I'll tell you. It is of no concern right now on a beginner's course. But what I'm trying to say is that you can do the same things we did in the previous video inside of Photoshop. Okay? Okay, Andy. I trust you. Now this thing is mode. And this is a pretty important thing. Because here you see I have grayscale. And what is grayscale? Well, it is a gray, black and white sort of picture. So while I am editing this picture, as long as it's in grayscale, I can't do any color adjustments except 50 Shades of Grey. Culture reference! Yes, in grayscale you can only do color editing in the area of black to white. So you might wonder, hey Andy, I'm just gonna stop doing this voice after this one, or at least for a while. Hey Andy, I see red here. Yes, but if you see now when I press OK, it is not gray down there. You saw that? Still gray there. I knew what I was talking about, didn't I? Yes, I did. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna choose one of those other ones. But which one, you may say? Well, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. As long as it's one of the color ones, it really doesn't matter. But I'm gonna choose RGB color. But you could easily choose SMYK color. And if you're wondering, RGB stands for red, green, and blue. Hey, that's colors, yes. And CMYK stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and I think black. Although K doesn't stand for black, but I think it's black. The differences is that one of them is better for internet use, while the other ones are better for just random printing. Yes, I think SMYK is best for printing, I think. Or something like, or was it internet? I can't remember. Check it up on Wikipedia. Wikipedia is the place to go if you have any questions about non-important stuff. If you have medical issues though, you should consult a doctor and not Wikipedia. So we're going to choose RGB color, which stood for, that's right, red, green, and blue. That's colors. Okay. Now you see down here I only have red. Okay, and the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make a copy of the background picture. Now this may sound very complicated, but it really isn't. The background picture is always the first picture you import into Photoshop. Except when you have a Photoshop file. If you import a JPEG, that's a file type in picture file type, or a TIFF or whatever, they will. If there's only one layer, it will be a background layer, and you can see here it is locked. Actually, I unlocked it. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you can do that, but you see layers. It went from background to layer 0. I learned something too. Anyway, what I'm still gonna do what I wanna do, and that is make a copy of it. Now you may wonder, hey Andy, why did you make a copy of that layer? Well, I'll tell you. The reason why I made a copy is that I'm gonna start editing, and it's very wise to make a copy of whatever you're gonna edit. So if you don't like it, you can always go back to scratch. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press this I. Now this I means what you see. I see. I see. You get it? The I, what you see. I, and if you remove it, you can't see it anymore. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let's just for fun remove both of the layers, and that's when you see this little chessboard like image, and that means that everything you see is invisible. If you see this part, then the picture is just white, but also invisible if you want to export it into something where invisible does matter, which is also called alpha channel. Alpha channel. Look it up on Wikipedia if you want to learn more. Now, but I'm gonna return it back here for now, and then we are going to start editing. Yes, I want to do one more thing. I want to create a new layer between the backup layer, which is layer 0, and the new layer called layer 0 copy, which we're going to rename, because that's what every person who makes a tutorial about Photoshop says, is that you should always name your layers. And the reason for that is that you easily can understand which layer is which. Okay, let's do that first then. I'm going to choose BG here. BG stands for background, original copy. It doesn't stand for original copy, it stands for background, but for me that says original copy. And then I'm going to say layer 0 copy. Let's call that one Andy board 1. Sure, why not? Okay. Now we're going to create a layer between these layers. You saw I put this one there, and then I made this one. You saw that? And I delete by putting it back in the trash can. But anyway, now it's a layer between these two. And I'm going to remove this one again. Press the I. Can't see it anymore. And I'll just see the alpha channel again. And then I'll press here on this black and white thing to make the color black. And then I'm going to put this one here, the paint bucket. And then I'm going to mark this one. And we have a black layer. You see that? Everything is black. And then I'm going to put this back on, and you see it's all white again. And you may wonder, why the hell did I do that? Well, the reason is simple. It is because I want to see what I'm going to remove. Because I want to remove the background of this picture, you see? What is not the picture, but what is just background. That's the first thing I want to do. Now I chose this little handy tool called Quick Selection Tool. Now if you have an old version of Photoshop, oh, I remember in the good old days, we didn't have any quick selection tool. Oh no, sorry Bob. We had the magic wand tool. Well, if you see here, we still have the magic wand tool. And sometimes that is an adequate tool to use. Let's try just for fun and see how it fails now. It shows everything, but that's because I marked the back layer. I did a bad thing. I did a dumb thing. Okay, let's try again. Okay, you see here, it shows a lot of things that I didn't want it to choose. And there may be a lot of reasons for that. Let's just delete it to show you more. See here? All this got removed. And that is just wrong. Yeah. Oh yes. So we have to undo that. And that's a handy little tip there. How do you undo things in Photoshop? Well, I'll show you. There are many ways of doing it. Right now we're going to choose the first one. And that is edit, undo, deselect. Okay. What you see there is I just did this previous step, which was unselecting. So we need to, and if you see here, I can't do more than that. All I can do is redo deselect and undo deselect. And I guess I could step backwards. Yes, step backwards. That'll help. Now we learn two ways. Undo and step backward. You can also see the quick keys here. And now we're back to where we were. So let's choose the other one, quick selection tool. Will this do the job? Let's see. It did the job better, as you can see. You see that? Why is it blinking? See here, this seems correct. So I'm gonna delete it and see what happens. Yay! Excellent. So let's try and do it again. I like to do it in steps. You could theoretically and practically make the entire selection first. But what I have from experience learned is that you get stuff like this. And then it's easier to just, and then I have to, oh, I guess I have to undo something like that. But I prefer to do it when I know the selection is okay and it's in a decent amount. I usually, this was a very big selection. Let's see here. Okay, let's try here then. And that didn't work either. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take this one and do a double one, and then I like to do a multiply because that will even harder define the edges. You see that? You can do it one more time too if you want. And then multiply. I forgot to mention I chose multiply. Oh Andy, this is getting too, you're moving too fast Andy, I can't focus. Okay, relax. Relax. Just make a note of it. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so now we have 3 copies of it, and that should mark the thing good enough. Let's see now. Well, no, it didn't help at all. You are selecting too much. God damn it! That's now we need to do some troubleshooting, I guess. Hardness. Let's take this and okay. I guess we have to accept the layers and then just do it manually the rest of the way. And that's the problem with quick selection tool. When you see tutorials of other people, they always have a quick selection, easy, but it isn't always that easy. So okay, so what we have to do now is that we have to press Alt. No, Control. No. Okay, what the hell do we have to press now? Let's see now. Okay. Now we're here. Okay, I see actually we have to define display too. Yeah, yes, that seemed to work. But you see this part here. If you see this part here, this is air, you see? And sometimes if the quick selection tool is too greedy, it will then select the entire area outside too. So, but it didn't do that now, so we can't complain. But it isn't like a perfect tool, that's what I'm saying. It isn't like intuitive. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press Shift. I think it's Shift on Mac too. And then what happens, you see that you get a plus there. And if I press Alt or Command, why is it blinking? It has done it since I started using it. I don't understand. I better complain to Adobe. Yes, I don't understand why it's blinking. It doesn't matter, but anyway. It doesn't hurt me that much, but it's still blinking. It's not something I'm doing while I'm recording. This is happening all the time, and that is blinking. Okay. I'm pressing play plus, which was Shift. And then you see I have further defined the area. You see that? Wendy, you're so good at this Photoshop thing. Make me beautiful. Oh. Now I press minus because I wanted it to remove the selection. You saw that? I'm gonna do the same here. So there's a lot of tweaking sometimes in this thing. A lot of tweaking. I bet Dr. D think it's like bam bam bam, but you actually sometimes, if you want it to be done good, you have to do some tweaking and tweakily. Actually, I'm not sure if I have to zoom out. One moment. Is that a part of the chair? I think it's a part of the chair, yes. So this is not supposed to be unselected. Okay. No, that was wrong too. Okay. Here we go. Okay, and then yes, plus. There we go. Okay. And if you press space, it's the same on both Mac and PC. If you press space, you get a hand. You get a hand job. So you can just move around the picture. You see that? Oh. And you can just follow the lines. You see, oh, this looks good. This doesn't look good. Wait, here I have to do something. Okay, I can just see here. What happens if I do this? Press. Come on. That seemed to work. Excellent. There we go. Excellent. Excellent. Then let's zoom down again. And then hand job space. Alt minus remove. No. So that's the one thing I do now, is that I'm getting confused about what area I'm keeping and what area I'm not keeping. So it's plus. I bet more people than me have that problem. Plus. No, see? No, that is wrong, Andy! Pay attention! Okay, I also think, okay, here is some part I'm gonna keep. Here's something I wanna remove. There is something I wanna keep. No, I wanna remove. Hand job space. Hand job space. Let's zoom out with Alt and scrolling. What else do I need to take? Let's just delete it and see now. Yes. Control Z is I regret this. Or edit, redo clear, or undo clear it would be in. So I saw here, I spied with my little eye that this area was not removed. Now is it minus, is it plus? I can't remember. Shift plus. There we go. Let's see here. I mean, this is pointless busy work, but it can be like soothing to do if you have trouble in your life. This pointless busy work, it's not pointless, but this type of work is can be pretty calming. I've experienced. I actually feel very calm right now. I'm sure this is what the joint smokers feel when they. But I'm being creative. I'm trying to do something constructive, whereas they just smoke their lives away. So the life is filled with intoxications like love, like being creative, feeling connection with others, smoking, drinking coffee, smoking weed, drinking alcohol, eating chocolate. All these things give you intoxications, but some of them will be more worthwhile than others. Think about that. You think about that! Okay, so now I'm gonna zoom in here, I think. This part here, yes. Are we gonna choose a quick selection tool again? Okay, which was it? Was it this one? No, that's wrong. Minus, Alt. Yes. You have to be very careful, because this can soon become too greedy and suddenly everything is unselected. Here we go. There we go. Pointless tweaking. You will be as careful as you like. Okay, let's zoom out again. Will this do? I wonder. Well, I wonder. Do you hear me when you sleep? My hoarsely cries. Ah, this looks brilliant if you ask me. So now I'm pressing Ctrl Z and doing the same mistakes and redoing it over and over again to see. Does it look like anything that shouldn't be is there, and anything that should be is not there? Well, I'm gonna accept this one. Okay, now you see here's a little border line. You can just easily remove that by doing this. Okay, well, should we say this is enough for today? And we can just continue on in another part. You have learned a lot already, haven't you? Yes, thank you, Andy! You made it so clear to me! Now I feel I can do everything in Adobe Photoshop! Thank you. Now if you like this video, yes I did, Andy! I want to have your babies! Well, then you can rate, subscribe and comment. And if you didn't like this video, you can rate and comment and not subscribe. That is what the internet is all about. So let's see each other later in another Let's Be Creative!
Let's get creative.